Two white lines trail across a light blue screen. They form the outline of four people. Two appear to be supporting the others. They reform into the Social Care Institute for Excellence logo. Sharing knowledge, improving lives. The screen fades to black. The making of the Care Leavers Stories project. In 2013, 4 specially trained young care leavers conducted oral history interviews with older care experienced people. The interviews are 2 to 3 hours long and are recorded on digital video. The interviews are permanently stored in the British Library's Oral History Archive. This film is about how the project was developed. A group sits around a meeting table. One is Pete Fleischman, head of co-production at Sky.
Care leavers are one of the groups in society which I don't think their voices are really heard. So there's quite a few unique things about this project. One is that we trained a group of young care leavers in oral history interviewing techniques, and then they did the interviews. So I think what we've collected is really rich because of that.
Nora Duckett.
It was really important that the project had the advisory group and it had a good ethics policy. I think that's something the project should be quite proud of, that the fact that it had those safeguards in place and that it was committed to those. The advisory group involved young people who'd experienced care, social work professionals who'd worked with young people who'd experienced care, academics like myself, and academics who'd also experienced care, and representatives from the British Library.
Rob Perks.
The British Library's been keen over recent years to try and collect experiences of people whose voices aren't held within the archive. So when Sky approached us and said they were thinking of applying to Heritage Lottery Fund for funding to get going with this project, we were very keen to be involved as the archive, if you like, for the project, but also helping to provide some of the support and training for the interviewers.
We had 3 days of oral history training. The first session was based in the Sky offices, and that was an introduction to the project and a historical background to care leavers. And then on the second training session, we covered oral history itself. And so by the end of that, I felt it was very comprehensive, and we got a really good introduction to the methodology of oral history itself and a lot of practice.
Sybil Almain.
Because this is a film project, we're very aware that some people feel uncomfortable with a camera and lights. So before the interviews even started, we really made sure that people were comfortable.
TJ.
We spent about 3 hours on our first interview, and I expected it to really drag on, but it went really quick, and it was really exciting to learn about their experience.
Matt Langsford, interviewee.
The interviewer was excellent. She listened to what I had to say and didn't edge in all the time, which was really interesting because that was one of my concerns, was someone else constantly butting in, but I was just left to say what I had to say, which was brilliant.
There was quite a lot of behind the scenes activity going on behind the interviews. I liaised with the transcriber in kind of making sure that our interviews are fully transcribed so that that can be put on the catalogue of the British Library alongside the video interview.
Pete Fleischman.
Products of the project are in 2 groups really. There's the full life story interviews, and then there's also going to be 2 short films which summarise the important issues for practice from all the stories.
Camelia Borg.
We're very heavily involved in the editing of the films and the documentaries, which is important because it's good to have our input, not just as care leavers, but also as the interviewers and the people that have been there and have been taken on the journey.
Rob Perks.
One of the important aspects of the project has been the length and depth of the interviews, where care leavers' experiences have been really embedded more generally within their longer lives. So once it's on the British Library's catalogue, anyone can word search the content within that and go immediately to that part of the interview they're interested in.
Nora Duckett.
I'd really encourage social work students and qualified social workers to watch the interviews, even if they are 2 or 3 hours long, because it's an invaluable learning experience for them.
Matt Langsford.
Just have something on the British Library's website and being able to just Google my own name and finding a transcript about my own life is a bit like, Oh.
Key learning points. This project addresses the issue of care leavers' voices not being heard. Consideration and planning ensured this project was a safe and supportive experience for everyone involved. The interviewers were specially trained care leavers, so the resulting interviews are particularly rich and honest. It is important to see people's experience of care in the context of their whole lives. Further information. To find out more, visit bl.co.uk or scie.org.uk. Thanks to everyone involved in the making of this film. Filmed and directed by Flexible Films. The Sky logo, copyright 2013.